One of the most common questions I receive here at KirbyAllison.com is how often should I shine a pair of shoes and when do I know when they need to be shined? Well, the short answer that I say is you shine them whenever they look like they need to be shined. These are a Bespoke pair of Foster & Son shoes. One of my favorite pairs. They're exceptionally comfortable. They really just exemplify all the characteristics that you would expect in a Bespoke pair of shoes. Immaculately made, perfect in every single detail, beautiful in their aesthetic shape, and absolutely sublime in their comfort. And so I wear them quite often, and as you can see, they've just reached that point where they need to be shined. So in today's video, we're gonna be shining these shoes. Another thing that we're gonna be doing is replacing the shoelaces. It's really come to a point where the shoelaces need to be replaced. And luckily here at KirbyAllison.com, we've got an extensive, probably the largest collection of luxury dress shoelaces available anywhere on the internet. So we're gonna be replacing these out. Of course, today I'm using a Saphir Medal d'Or available online at KirbyAllison.com. It's really the best polish out there in the world. And it's the only polish that I would allow to touch a pair of shoes of this quality. I really say Allen Edmonds or better really benefits from high quality polish. These are Bespoke shoes. They come with the Bespoke shoe trees. We're gonna take these out, remove the laces, stick them back in, and then shine them. This is a standard shine. It's a little bit more than just a touch up. We're gonna really address the cracking on the toe. We're gonna replace the shoelaces, and I'm going to give it a little bit of edge and heel love. So I don't remove the shoelaces every single time I shine a pair of shoes. I think it produces or places unnecessary stress on the eyelets, on the facing. But here, these shoelaces have definitely reached the end of their life, and so I'm going to replace them. And since I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and remove them before I shine the shoes so that we can condition this area right here. One of the things that I always do is I actually travel with an extra pair of shoelaces in my luggage, just in case they break. I think you should always have a few pair of shoelaces on hand. It's always better to have them before they're actually needed because that way you're not having to wait for them to show up. So let's see. Now again, it's been a while since I polished these, so I'm going to start with the Saphir Renovator. This is like liquid gold. It's our most popular Saphir product. And what I like about it is that it's a neutral-based conditioner, and it really just deeply conditions the shoes. It has a light wax content, so it provides a nice kind of soft shine also. And it's really what I like to always start with. Again, it's going to really condition this leather to make sure it remains soft and supple. I like to apply all of my polishes with our High Shine chamois. And these are our new interlocking cotton High Shine chamois. It comes in a set of 3, and this is essential for producing that mirror shine. But it's also really nice to use just in the shine itself when applying the cream polishes. What I like about this relative to a dauber is it's just more efficient in its use of your polish. It doesn't use as much, so it kind of helps produce a little bit of a higher yield. It's also really easy to wrap around your fingers. There we are, pull this through. I've got it right here. We have a video on how to do that. I'm gonna brush these shoes first. So I'm brushing just to get any type of superficial dust off. Again, I'm not cleaning this with any type of saddle soap. They're not that dirty. If I was to use like a leather cleaning soap or a saddle soap, you would really want to let the leather dry for a few hours before you begin applying polish. But here, don't think it's totally necessary. I'm taking my brush, getting inside the welt right here to take any dust, dirt that's accumulated right there off. We'll get that later also, but just a quick light shine. There we go. Okay, Saphir Renovator, High Shine chamois. I'm just going to generously apply this and massage it into the leather and allow it to dry for a few moments. I like to apply this on the entire shoe, but again, if there's any area that was most important, it would be just right across this vamp. That's the area that is really most prone to cracking because it's what's flexing. So you want to make sure that you get some Renovator in here. Again, that mink oil really helps penetrate that leather and condition. And whenever you're shining a pair of shoes with broguing, which are little perforations or dots here, it's always normal to get a little bit of polish inside those. Little trick for getting that out is to just take your horsehair brush, tap the broguing with your Shoeshine brush, and that should take the polish out. You really don't want buildup in there. You'll also see that I'm using our leather Shoeshine carpet here. We, of course, sell these online at KirbyAllison.com. I think it's just a great Shoeshine accessory. It helps keep your work surface clean. It also helps prevent any type of scuffing or scratching because this is a soft leather surface. If you drop your shoe on it, it's not going to damage that in any way. And of course, if you're doing this at home on your dining room table or something, you certainly do not want to get any polish on the table itself, and this helps just provide a little bit of additional insurance. Okay, it's dried whenever it's no longer tacky to the touch. So we're simply going to buff this with a Shoeshine brush. And you'll see why Renovator is such a popular product. I mean, as a neutral conditioner, it's really easy to use. You can use it on almost literally anything except suede. And then once it dries and you buff it, it provides a nice soft shine. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop, the Renovator is really the best product to use. Okay, so next, again, I'm going to allow that Renovator to continue to dry. I'm going to go ahead and apply cream polish. I recommend cream polishes for the primary kind of use. Again, cream polishes are going to repigment. The Saphir Medallion has 5 times more pigment than ordinary polishes. It has that shea butter, which is going to help further condition and hydrate that leather. And then it still contains soft waxes, beeswax, that is going to help continue to build that foundation of waxes for the shine. Again, all polishes are a little bit transparent, so it's not essential for a perfect match. Here, if you're concerned about darkening the leather at all, I always recommend using a slightly lighter color polish. And so here, I'm going to use just simply a nice light brown. As you can see, it's a little bit on the light side. I could probably get away with a medium brown. Maybe I use that on the toe caps a little bit. You can see that's still kind of a little bit too dark, that medium brown. So again, it's hard to find a perfect match. The point is a close match. And if you're worried about darkening your shoes, I always recommend using a slightly lighter color. So I think this light brown is going to be perfect. So again, we're going to massage that into the leather. And the purpose here really is that continue to condition and hydrate the leather, but also conceal any scuffs or scratches. Most scuffs can honestly be very easily concealed just with a single application of the Saphir Medallion. The pigments and the waxes really do wonders. With the cream polish, you're not going to buff that off using a cotton chamois like you would a high shine. Again, cream polishes really just need to be buffed off with a horsehair brush. And again, just the friction of those bristles, and we have a very high density on our Wellington brushes, and those dried waxes is going to produce a nice soft shine. You can see it's starting to light up right now. Again, I don't know about you, but I really love just the difference that even 1 or 2 applications of shoe polish can make to a pair of shoes. We don't have a high shine here, but let's just say I needed to take these things out. I mean, I would be totally fine to walk out with them. Just how they look right now, they look way better than whenever I started. Okay, nice soft shine, quick buff. We're gonna do something else here. I'm gonna go into my box of goodies. Okay. So right here, I have a neutral cream polish and one of our Wellington pig bristle brushes. Now, again, I think the last frontier of really high quality shoe care is edge and heel care. And you can see right here at the welt, where the stitching kind of meets the welt. This is the outsole stitching that's used to stitch the outsole to the welt itself. It's just got a little bit of buildup of some dust or some dirt. That can dry out. And so I'm going to apply just a little bit of a neutral cream polish and kind of buff that in with my pig bristle brush because it's got a stiffer bristles. So here I'm just going to kind of get this in there with my finger. Right. I'm gonna get a little bit on the upper, but that's no big deal. I just want to get this in there. I don't have a welt brush. Sell welt brushes, but I think that the horsehair brush or the pig bristle brush is pretty good. So again, I'm just kind of, I got some on my upper, no big deal. I just want to put some on my finger and kind of get it in there, right? And then I'm going to take my brush and then just gently kind of brush that in. I don't want to take it all out. I really want it to get in there. It's going to clean. And then I'm going to let it dry. And we'll take the rest of that off during our edge care. All right, great. So again, I like to kind of go back and forth. We've got a few different polishes open. I can close up this Renovator, leave those two open. The next step is kind of optional. I mean, honestly, this is fine just with the cream polish. But next, I'm going to apply slightly darker medium brown wax polish. Again, this pair of shoes has a little bit of an antique effect to it. And so I'm gonna apply some dark brown. Now here it's okay to go darker because again, wax polishes have even a lower pigment concentration in it than cream polishes. So again, it's not going to dramatically alter the color of the shoes itself, provide a nice little bit of tinting. And then also the harder waxes in the cream polish will help, again, further protect that leather. So I'm gonna really work it into the toe cap. We're gonna basically totally redo that mirror shine there. The first step is starting to pull off some of those old layers of waxes, and just a new Pat Deluxe wax polish is a really good way to do that because it's got that higher concentration of solvents. It's effectively gonna melt off and kind of pull off or clean those other layers of waxes. So kind of working that in with a little bit of additional vigor, right? And then I'm gonna take this wax polish and just apply it to the rest of the shoe. Again, before you buff this, it's important that the polish has an opportunity to dry. So that's why I like to work on both shoes at the same time. Even really multiple pairs of shoes is a great way to do this, kind of batch them together. All right. Horsehair brush. I'm going to take my pig bristle brush, get that off of the heel. Again, starting to light up just with one application of the Pat Deluxe. Now we're going to do better than that whenever we bring out the mirror gloss. So look at this, just an application of the Saphir Renovator, the Saphir Pommadier cream polish, and the Saphir Pat Deluxe wax polish, and the shoe really looks great. Now the only thing that's missing, and this is a personal preference, is a nice mirror shine here on the toe cap. We're gonna do a little bit more work to the edges and heels. Why? Because we can. And also just elevate the shine a little bit around the rear quarters and the heel of the shoe. Again, just to give it that nice kind of final touch that really kind of pulls this all together. Okay, so the process for developing a mirror shine, again, we have an entire video on this, actually several, is really building up those hard waxes so that the light doesn't refract right here across the pores of the leather. You can see that, again, this isn't a mirror shine because it's a uneven surface that is basically refracting the light, dispersing it so you don't get that shine. What I like about the mirror gloss is this is the product that I helped create. Is that it really accelerates that process of developing a mirror shine. It's got a high concentration of hard waxes, and that allows you to just build that foundation faster without having to wait for the solvents in the slightly wetter Pâte de Luxe to dry. So I like to apply a relatively thick layer of this and allow it to dry, and then buff it down using a little bit of Pâte de Luxe and a little bit of rubbing alcohol and water. This is a 1-to-3 ratio of rubbing alcohol to water. It kind of helps accelerate that process. So let's get started. The other thing to keep in mind is that, again, the mirror gloss process does take a little bit of time because you have to apply multiple layers. You have to allow those waxes to really dry before you can get a good buff out of them. And you've got to do it multiple times. Now the high shine chamois, again, this is our Wellington high shine chamois. We sell these in a set of 3, is really essential to this process. You cannot create a mirror shine without using the proper chamois. That and the mirror glass, the two of those are really kind of the two secrets. And I have to say the rubbing alcohol and water also really helps. So I've got this on my chamois. Going to begin to apply that. And again, we want a relatively thick layer, and I need to push that wax into the pore of the shoe. Again, the leather, the full grain, open pore leather, high quality. You have to fill those pores up with those hard waxes in order to get it to shine. You also only do the mirror shine on the hard countered areas of the shoe. That's the areas of the shoe that are meant to not flex. There's an extra piece of leather in there between the upper and the lining that helps, again, prevent that flex. Again, generally just in the toe cap and the heels. If you try to do any mirror gloss across the vamp, it's simply going to crack as soon as the shoe flexes. If you also have a toe cap that isn't very well countered and is kind of, I guess soft to the touch, again, you'll end up with cracking. So again, I'm just doing it to the rear quarter where the hard countering is. We'll get it on the heel at some point, so it doesn't matter if you get any on the heel. All right, so let's set that shoe aside. All right, so here we are. I'm going to allow that a little bit more time to dry again. We applied a relatively thick application of the mirror gloss. It needs to dry, it needs to be totally hardened before you're going to be able to really develop that shine. So let's just take a moment here and switch gears a little bit to the edges and heels. Again, I like to work on this kind of all at the same time. We've got an entire series of videos on edge and heel care that you can find in the link to this video. My favorite product to use for edge and heel care, honestly, is just a little bit of Superior Pommadier cream polish for the pigmentation and recoloring. The soft cream really kind of gets into that texture of the edge, even if it's a little bit rough. And then, again, the secret kind of ingredient here, the silver bullet, is the mirror gloss. Again, it's a high concentration of hard waxes, is what I use to really elevate that shine. So I like to apply the Superior Pommadier cream polish with my finger. One of the ways that you can make this even better is to leave it open for a few weeks to allow this to dry out and become a little bit thicker in its consistency. This is a little bit dry. And then you just simply apply this using your finger. I'm using a medium brown here. On a pair of black shoes, you could use black, you could even use dark brown. And then you just really work it into the shoe using your fingers. This still is a little tacky to the touch. We're going to give that more time to dry. So we are going to instead start working on buffing that nice shine. So I'm going to I'm going to transition to a clean area of the chamois, no polish on it. Stretch this over my fingers, making sure that this cotton is very tight. And that's why I really love this cotton interlocking fabric, is because it is a little bit stretchy and has some give to it. I'm going to tie this around my fingers. It's essential. I've got my water and my high shine water dispenser. This is 1 part rubbing alcohol for 3 parts water. Okay, and then here we are going to use a combination of mirror gloss, medium brown, Pat Deluxe, and actually probably even going to transition to the dark brown here. Is this black? Nope, it's dark brown. Looks black, but it's dark brown. Because again, very light concentration of pigment here. It'll help to antique a little bit. So there we go, dark brown. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, again, just continue to buff this until we begin to develop a shine. You want a little bit of water, slightly damp chamois. A little bit of airflow is nice. If you have a fan, you can set it in front of you. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to buff this to a shine. You want it totally shiny, or as shiny as you can get it. And if it's not at your desired level of mirror shine, just apply a few more coats of the mirror gloss and do this over again. It's those successive layers combined with the buffing that creates that nice shine. You can see this is already starting to light up quite nicely. The other secret here is to not rush the process. Again, the waxes have to be dry. They have to become completely dry. And so if you do this too soon, or if you don't allow enough time in between layers, you'll essentially just be pushing wet polish around and you'll never get that high shine. I'm going to take just a little bit of that water, tap of Pat Deluxe. Again, that also for the solvents acts very similarly to the rubbing alcohol and water combination. I mean, look at that light up. I mean, really, I have to say that's very nice. So we are going to buff a little bit more. So I'm going to transition away from this. I'm going to let that dry a little bit more for that wax to set. And then here we're going to transition to the back of the shoe. I'm going to take a little bit of that water, a little bit of that dark brown, and then we are going to begin to buff. Now, one other thing with the buffing, you start with a very light touch, and then as it begins to shine, you apply increasingly more pressure. I like to use 2 of these, really the 3 of these in combination, but a little bit of Pat Deluxe with its higher concentration of solvents, a slightly wetter polish, and then the drier mirror gloss really work brilliantly together. That's brilliant. Again, I'm not going to rush the process. It's essential for that wax to dry, so I'm going to transition back to the front of the shoe. A little bit of water, just a tap of that Pat Deluxe. Let's go to town. A little bit of mirror gloss, again, building up a little bit of a layer. So here you can really see just the benefit of buffing. I mean, once you have that foundation of hard waxes, it's really just buffing, 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 and buffing. And the heat, the friction, and then the solvents or a little bit of alcohol is kind of really what helps melt those hard waxes and glaçage them, as they say in French, which is to shine. And this is just, I mean, look at that shine. Isn't that just incredible? I'm using medium to firm pressure. Again, you really want to get those waxes buffed out, and that's what we're doing here. All right. Beautiful. I love it. I'm a sucker for a good mirror shine. It's almost an obsession, but you guys know this. Buffing with the pig bristle brush. Cheating a little bit here because I'm using our Suede buffing brush. This is a new product, new Wellington Shoeshine brush. It's really a Suede cleaning brush. It's a pig bristle brush with a shorter pinning length. So the cut length of the bristle is shorter than on our standard buffing pig bristle brush. It just creates a stiffer bristle. And here, you know, what I really want to do is to buff the waxes out of the heel or the edges as much as possible. So here, the name of the game is generous application. I'm going to apply this to the edge of the heel. Work it in. Now you want to make sure that you apply it very smoothly, because once that dries, those hard waxes are hard to buff. So I want a nice, even application. I'm applying this with really firm pressure to get it flat, to get it in the heel. Again, this is the pig bristle brush. This has that stiffer bristle. It's actually a Shoeshine brush. A normal pig bristle brush, horsehair brush would even work. Just you'll spend more time buffing. And you're just gonna simply take those wax polishes and buff them to a nice shine. Could even, just as a trick, we're gonna try this now for the first time, put just a little bit of that water and alcohol on. Yeah, that works nicely. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice shine. Again, you can always go shinier with more layers. Just for fun. Let's take just a little bit of wax polish. All right, I think we're done. So again, the edges and heels are kind of that final frontier. A little bit of mirror gloss, high shine chamois. Again, the high shine chamois is just so versatile. It's an essential shoe shine accessory. It's, in my opinion, it's as important as the shoe shine brush. So the final touch, of course, is always the shoelaces. We have our Wellington shoelaces here. These are made exclusively for us, really from the same maker that supplies most of the Northampton shoe trade. These are our narrow, flat waxed laces. Probably my favorite style. We've got round waxed, round unwaxed. We've got regular flat waxed. But these are the extra narrow ones, which I think add a touch of formality. They're available in 3 colors, light brown, medium brown, and dark brown. I'm just looking at them right here. And I think I'm probably going to go with the dark brown laces, but it's kind of a toss-up between that and the mid brown. So these shoelaces always fade a little bit over time. So I don't know, toss up there, but I think I'm gonna just go and play it safe with the dark brown. We're gonna lace these. Again, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one way to lace a pair of dress shoes, and that's with the barbell style. We have an entire Shoeshine video or big guide video on how to do this. There we go, look at these. So again, narrow flat wax laced, extra narrow actually, my favorite laces. Beautiful pair of shoes. I love these Bespoke Foster & Son shoes. One of the reasons I probably spend a little bit more time on these, bring that up. But beautiful mirror shine on the toe, great shine throughout the upper, nice shine on the heel. We brought up the shine on the heel block itself in addition to the heel. New laces, and so I think these are ready to go. Of course, all the products that we used in this video, Saphir Medal d'Or, or the Kirby Allison Wellington kind of shoeshine accessories, all available on KirbyAllison.com. This is how we support this channel, so if you enjoyed this video, please visit KirbyAllison.com for all of your luxury garment care and luxury shoe shine accessories. Of course, as well as other great accessories for the well-dressed, like this sovereign grade tie that I'm wearing today. This is a nice swirl jacquard, beautiful tie, great texture. I'm wearing it with my Alan Flesser triple bead pinstripe suit. I've got a Kirby Allison pocket square, Kirby Allison socks, Kirby Allison braces, of course, all available online at KirbyAllison.com. Let me know what you thought about this video in the description below. Give me a thumbs up, share this video, take a look at our other videos on this channel, hit that red subscribe button. Of course, I'm Kirby Allison, and I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Thank you for watching.